Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome officially to the channel. This is, as you know from the intro, where I go into odd game accessories or peripherals the developers made to get us more into the game mentally or physically. Sometimes they're just weird ideas that don't really make sense and when they come out, and often less when viewed in hindsight. Today, depending on your point of view, this might just be one of the last ones. You see, today I want to look at an odd way Nintendo used to extend the life of their games, because today we're going to take a look at the Nintendo e-reader. The Nintendo e-reader was a device released in December of 2001 in Japan and September of 2002 in the States. It used an LED scanner that would read branded e-reader cards, which were paper cards with encoded data. Depending on the card and the associated game, it could do a few different things. For some, it would unlock secret items. Others, it would unlock levels, and even some others it would unlock minigames, or sometimes the cards themselves would just load up full-on NES games that the user could play. I know what you're thinking though, this is just a stupid paywall that it built to unlock things already on the cart. According to what I could find though, that's not really the case. The data was read into memory right off of the card itself, not acting as a key to unlock something hidden on the cart that was made to be unlocked once the card was scanned. The cards used something called a dot code, which was a specialized barcode that could be read. Some of the offerings, like the NES games, would require multiple cards in order to unlock them, often being problematic, meaning the user would have to swipe them multiple times before the reader would actually recognize them. This thing worked pretty simply. You just plugged it into the card slot. Once you did, it would actually block the original link cable port, but the version that came out in the States actually overcame this. And they did that by putting a link cable connector on the e-reader itself. You'd then plug your cart into the top of the e-reader and use the appropriate cards for the appropriate game, or in the case of the NES games, just scan the cards to load up the game. It was primarily made to work with the original Game Boy Advance, but it could be used with the Game Boy SP and Micro, but the link cable would no longer function with those two. As far as the number of cards that they had, there were 3 series for the NES line, including many of the NES Black Box line of games like Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong, Excitebike, and Ice Climbers, just to name a few. However, they would have other cards that added things like new trainers to fight in Pokemon, extra levels, and those essentially were DLC before DLC was a major thing. And I know what you're wondering though, how much did this thing cost and how much were the cards? Well, honestly, pretty close in price to a Game Boy Advance game at the time. This retailed around $40 for the unit, with additional packs costing around $5 a piece. The cards themselves, by most reports, could have used a little bit more work, being prone to bending or warping that would cause errors when trying to read the card by the reader itself. These factors were likely more than a bit responsible for the lack of sales that the device had, making it very much a case of Nintendo doing something innovative and fun that just failed to hit the main mark with its target audience. Couple this with the fact that Nintendo was trying to reach a more mature audience around this time with the Game Boy Advance in the States, and you have a bit of a recipe for failure in my opinion. However, what do you guys think of this little oddity? Do you think it's a cool mix of card collecting and video games? Did any of you ever have the reader? Let me know in the comments. For now though, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. If I could ask you for one more favor, please leave this video a like. And if you haven't, consider subscribing. That really helps me out. For now though, thank you once again, and until next time, happy gaming.